Hello everyone, my name is Xander Labella, and I'm here with Andrew, Jackson, and Hansel. We'll be walking you through Apex Mobility's Year 1 marketing plan. Over the next 15 minutes, we'll cover where we ended up after Year 1, how we got there, and most importantly, the strategy we're taking into Year 2. Let's get started. Apex Mobility designs comfortable, reliable, and practical bicycles for everyday transportation and recreation. Our mission is simple: every ride should feel easy. In Year 1, we targeted 5 segments: work, recreation, youth, mountain, speed, and we built a portfolio of 4 bikes to serve them. Strategically, we focused on large, high-demand segments, kept logistics costs low by concentrating our stores regionally, and invested heavily in R&D and marketing to build a position we could defend. Our team brings together brand management, internet marketing, analytics, and operations. You'll hear from each of us today. Here's the executive summary for Year 1. By Quarter 8, our final quarter, we hit $1.027 million in revenue. It's our best quarter ever, and it came from selling 1,313 bikes across all 4 models. That said, our market share finished at 6%, down from a peak of 8 in Quarter 6. That slide tells us the real story of Year 1. Great momentum, but we left money on the table. Let me walk you through the year quarter by quarter. We opened our first store in Hangzhou at Q4, a late start that hurt our early sales. Q5 brought losses as we invested in a new bike and ramped up in advertising. Q6 was our best share quarter at 8% after launching our kids' bike and opening Tokyo. Q7 saw sales grow but share slip, and Q8 finished strong on revenue through our manufacturing costs were still too high. That cost problem is the thread running through everything you'll hear today. I'll hand it over now to Andrew to dig into our performance numbers.
All right, so moving into the Year 1 performance review, looking at revenue by quarter, you can see exponential growth in the trajectory across Year 1. Quarter 8 was our strongest, with the Apex Utility 3 leading the way at $347,200, followed by the Velocity 4, and then the Trail 3, and then the Adventure. However, the balanced scorecard tells a more honest story. Against the industry average, our cumulative wealth and total performance scores lag significantly. Our financial performance is deeply negative. The bright spots, however, are marketing effectiveness was above average, and investment in future, where we're nearly doubling the industry average thanks to our R&D spend. The main takeaway is we're building the right things, but we just need to make them more profitable at the end of the day. And then moving into assessment of current situation, starting off with our customers, the work segment is our strongest base. The Utility 3 sold 496 units in Quarter 8 alone. Recreation and mountain buyers are steady, and the Adventure Kids bike carries a 53% gross margin, the best in our lineup. And then moving on to the competition, so Shift Plus owns 45% of the market, which makes them the team to beat. EVQ sits at 19% and leans heavily on rebates. And then Volare and Wazoo are both around 10 to 11%, the most vulnerable to us taking share. Our strengths are we outinvest everyone in research and development, and our marketing efficiency is above average. Our weakness is cost. We're selling bikes for less than they cost to make, and that has to change in Year 2. And then wrapping up with opportunities, we're ready to open in North America, and we're coming off our best sales quarter yet. So there is real momentum to work with. And then wrapping up with brand strategy, our positioning for Year 2 is very clear. Apex Mobility is the brand for everyday riders. It's practical, it's fair, and it's fair priced. We're organizing our brand essentially around 3 pillars. First one being built for every day. So 1 bike for each kind of rider, a consistent look across stores and ads and whatnot, and a reliability promise on every model. The second pillar is best service. So free tune-ups in the first year, trained staff in every location, and a 30-day comfort guarantee. We want customers to feel taken care of after the sale. And then third, lead with work bikes. The Utility 3 is right now our biggest profit engine. We're putting the biggest ad push behind it, launching a trade-in deal for old commuter bikes, and partnering with some companies on back-to-work programs. And I will now pass it over to Jackson to talk about pricing and advertising.
All right, now I'm going to talk a little bit about our pricing strategy. It was pretty apparent in year one that we were changing prices too often. 5 quarters in a row of price adjustments kind of created uncertainty for our customers and kind of made it, harder to stick to a certain sales plan to be successful. In year two, we're committing to 4 price rules. Hold steady, no changes for at least 2 quarters. 3 tiers. Utilities are value, trail velocities are mid-range, and adventure, which is a premium kids bike. And our margin goal is for 45% gross margin, and only cut prices if we've cut costs first, because a common issue that was happening from our first years was that the cost of our bikes were too high, and we weren't selling them for a high enough price. We weren't making very good margins off of those. And I want to make sure to only use rebates for specific events, like when we open our North America stores, not as kind of a routine thing we do every single month. And then for our year 2 prices, same price for at least 2 quarters as I mentioned. The Apex Utility would be more like a $695 price with a cost of $309 with a 55% margin. Apex Velocity would be a $995 price point with a $577 cost and a 42% gross margin. Apex Trail would be $849 cost, $570 cost, and then 33% margin. An Apex Adventure would be a $650 price point, $278 cost, and a 57% gross margin. The goal is to stop chasing volume and start kind of protecting more of our profit. And now I'm going to go into kind of our advertising strategy for our first 2 years and also next year. Our year 2 ad budget, we're going to have $480,000, and we're going to kind of allocate this intentionally. We do 35% paid social. SEO and search is really important to kind of get those keywords up there and get our brand on the top of sites. So we're going to do 20%. Local media will be 18%. In-store and events 15%. Brand campaign 12%. We're going to keep scaling what worked in quarter 7 to make ads specific to each city. And also for brand content, for our online content, where most people start their bike research, social ads, make ads for each city, search, so we show up when people search for us, and retargeting, bring back people who looked and maybe didn't buy. Local stores, posters, events, and partners. Working with local companies on computer programs. And then brand ads, short design, different brand ads that kind of tell a story and kind of show real riders that'll really get the potential customers who already have hooked on our products. Social posts, weekly rider stories about each of our 4 bikes, and press. Get our stuff more in the news more often. And then I'll hand it off to Hansel now for our channel and distribution strategy.
Let's walk through the sale channel strategy and the lessons we're carrying into year 2. We currently operate 2 open stores in Hangzhou and Tokyo. In year 2, we're expanding to North America. We'll open Vancouver in quarter 9 and Portland in quarter 11. Europe stays on hold for now, and we'll revisit it once we have North America launch stable. On the sales team, we're moving staff where they sell best. More people on the Unity 3, our top performer, less staff on slow mountain segments in Tokyo, and we're shifting bonuses to reward profit margin, not just units sold. We'll also launch ApexMobility.com in quarter 9, starting with Asia, expanding to North America by quarter 10. The plan is to include buy online, pick up in-store, so customers can get the convenience of online ordering and the expenses of an in-person fitting. Finally, here are the 5 lessons we're taking out of year 1, and this is probably the most important slide. 1,
get started faster. We entered a quarter behind the competition, and that slow start hurt us all year. In year 2, we launched early. 2, stop changing prices. 5 quarters of adjustment hurt customer trust. We're picking our prices and staying hold on them. 3, profit matters more than sales. Quarter 8 was our best revenue quarter and our worst profit quarter. We have to reduce manufacturing costs before chasing more volume. 4, focus on what works. The Unity 3 is our winner, and we're leaning hard on. 5, plan R&D spending. We invested more in new bikes than anyone in the industry. That's a strength, but it needs to be tied to a clear return. Year 1 taught us a lot. We have the bikes, the brand, the momentum. Year 2 is about executing smarter. Thank you for your time, and we're happy to take any questions.